guys, so I've been promising you another iPad video since shortly after the first one, and I haven't gotten around to doing it. So let's take a couple minutes now and go over some things. Here are a couple of things. I've got good and bad. Bad. You guys want to know what annoys me about this? Well, not every application is made for the iPad, at least not yet. And this one's not going to apply to me for very much longer, but in the meantime, Facebook for iPad. It's actually just the same one as the iPhone. When it's not made for the iPad natively, here's what happens. Look at that. That is iPhone size. Isn't that terrific? Down here we have a little 2x button. What does that do? It's going to make it double the size. Sounds terrific. It may look clear to you, but it's not. Maybe you can. I don't know. It's not very clear. It's not very good. This is absolutely terrible. This needs to be fixed. I know that's not up to Apple to do. It's up to each developer to do. They put a solution in place, or at least you can do it. There are some things that when you double in size are not awful. I have a craps game on here that actually works really well. But other than that, most of these applications are not going to scale the way they're supposed to. Here's something else. This is good. I actually like this quite a bit. Rotation lock. I don't know how often, if you have an iPhone, you lay down, let's say, or you angle a little bit, you want to read something, the whole screen is going to flip on you. And it can get quite annoying when you want to read an email, let's say. So as you're laying down to try to read this, the whole thing's going to flip. You're on your side, and now this is, again, perpendicular to your head. Well, we have a little button here on the side. Looks like the mute button on an iPhone. It's not. It's rotation lock. See that? I can turn it any way I want. Nothing's going to happen. See? As soon as you turn it off. It's a very handy little thing to have. I think it's terrific. If you've ever played with the Ocarina on the iPhone, made by the people at Smule, these folks, which way? There we go. Okay, this is a piano application that they've created here. I showed you another one. This one's really terrific because of the interactivity with people around the world. As this loads now, you're going to be able to see people playing. This is streaming now. This is not recorded. This is not delayed. This is streaming. And not everybody's terrific. Somebody else. Anyway, another example. Just to illustrate the screen, I don't know how well you're going to be able to really tell. It scares the fish when you hit it, but it looks like water. I mean, you can't even believe that you're not looking at real water. It's really incredible what they've done. Those are the big ones, things that I've noticed here. The battery life is unbelievable. It's actually surpassed the expectations that we've had. It's gotten even much better. When I go to work, I'm in a concrete building where I'm constantly looking for signal, and my battery in an environment like that has actually been down to 10 hours. So that's awesome. I'm not real happy with iTunes. Apple needs to work this out. If you have an iPhone and you have an iPad, you know what I'm talking about. The application syncing with two devices on one account on one computer is an absolute misery. It's absolutely terrible. Every time I update an application, it installs it on both. Even if it's just an iPhone application. If I do it from the iPad side, it won't go to the iPhone, obviously. But if it's an iPhone application that works on both, in that small size like Facebook I showed you, I update it, it'll end up on both of them. It's a constant battle to make sure that I have things checked appropriately. Bottom line is, I basically just install things from the iPad or the iPhone directly. I do not use the App Store and iTunes. Or I'll search and shop in the App Store and iTunes, but actually do the downloading from the device. That way, nothing's pushing from iTunes to the device. It is unbelievably poorly thought out that has to be an option. That's the solution. Terrible. They need to get this fixed. Music syncing for the iPad. I know it's not primarily a music device. It's actually not a music device at all, just given the syncing. It's very difficult. I can basically have every song by one particular artist or go through individual songs that I want to have put down. I don't think I can get any more specific than that. It's really pretty terrible how the whole thing works. I put a few songs on here just to see how it looked, and that'll probably be the last time that I ever synchronize music with this device. So, the device as a whole is excellent. I love it. I'm thrilled to be using it. There are some kinks that need to be worked out, some with the developers themselves, like that Facebook issue. There are others that are that way. Most of the problems I have stem from iTunes. It's hard to know if it's iPad only or if it's iPad and iPhone, if it'll work in a native resolution for the iPad. The syncing, the music, most of the problems that I've had with this stem from iTunes. I know that's not going to be a surprise to a lot of people, but it's my iPhone. I've never had any trouble. As soon as I introduce a second device, it's just a misery. So they need to get that squared away. I'm sure they're working on it. So that's about it. I'll talk to you guys soon.